every project's still a kind of unique set of kind of variables. I mean, I found you get to learn processes, but I think, each team is different. Each client has different sort of, roles in there and different strategies you need to apply to kind of achieve the goal of, kind of outputting a successful solution, kind of seeing that through.
Yeah, I think before we jump into some of these details, maybe we get a little bit about just kind of what inspired you to pursue a career in design and technology.
It's interesting because I think I've always been probably most interested in kind of creating things and dreaming up solutions in all kind of avenues of life, right from when I was young, just loving kind of, working on any kind of illustration or, putting something together, even if it's kind of when I was really young, tinkering kind of with software development. And I think that sort of directed me in a line to sort of go, well, look, I can use these two tools. I can use my kind of creativity and, computers as a tool to create digital products. And I think that's, to this day, kind of keeps me engaged. And I just love working in the space, especially just the speed at which it kind of evolves and advances. It's never a boring moment.
I think with your background, you also, you got into some photography. Is that right? And did that help kind of influence some of the design?
I think that was after sort of, I think really it was loving kind of, probably art and doing art in school and, then kind of being influenced by, certain, design thinking and just, wanting to create. It really comes down to wanting to sort of create anything, whether that's building something out of wood or building something on a computer. It's like creating something. And, if it's aligned with, certain design movements or trends and that's really what we're doing. I mean, we're sort of keeping our finger on the pulse of what's trending from a sort of visual design standpoint and converting it into, using good, best practices and, the right methodologies to kind of convert it into a product that, really exceeds everyone's expectations. So I think, in terms of background, I can remember kind of playing around, probably being about 5 years old, playing around on a friend's Hercules computer monochrome green screen. I was like, we're going to hack in and find those documents from your mom. We're going to do it. And it's just that sort of like breaking, just trying to dissect things and understand how they're built and how you can modify them. How you can also bring elements of design into things to make things, more visually appealing. And, there's so many aspects to it, I think, which, is really, when you look at the software development lifecycle, exactly what we sort of as a UX agency, bring to the table and get involved with. And that sort of ideation to creation and actually creating that product. So, I think a lot of things that have pushed me down this path, which I've thoroughly enjoyed.
I always say you're like one of the unicorns on our team where, you can do both design and dev. Obviously that's a left brain, right brain kind of a fight whenever you're doing work. And what do you enjoy doing most? Is it the development side? Is it the design side?
I think it's the balance, probably the problem solving. I always think, UX is that sort of balance of, can you collect all the facts and can you review the facts and, then create something that, balances everything and solve that problem, like solve that unique challenge. Because I think, I mentioned challenges earlier. It's really, that's what most solutions are. They're a specific, set of criteria that, almost form a challenge to solve and come up with an ideal product. So all aspects, coming back to the sort of balance point, if you can be involved in all aspects of a project, you get to enjoy that balance of switching, from again that ideation to development and seeing it right through to the finished product, which is really rewarding, I think.